Asia, and today we need to talk about this absolutely insane story involving a landlord who was caught inside of a tenant's home doing something that sounds very unreal. So, this man allegedly went into a tenant's home, brought somebody with him, and had sex inside of the tenant's apartment while the tenant was not there. And the craziest part, the tenant had cameras inside of their home, so they were literally getting live notifications and watching this while it happened. So, according to reports, the tenant received notifications from the indoor security camera and checked their footage. And instead of seeing like a break in or someone stealing packages or something normal, not normal, but something that you would normally see on a camera, they allegedly saw their landlord inside of their home with a person having sex. And the news reporter said for an hour. Dear God. So the tenant reportedly copied all of the footage, contacted the police, and contacted the news. And once the story hit the news, it completely blew up. The news station actually went to the landlord's home trying to get a statement from him. They caught him outside with his garage open and everything, but instead of answering the questions, he literally just left his house. He got in his car, drove off while they were trying to talk to him, and now his face is all over the news connected to the story. The news, they did blur his face out, but you can find him. So first of all, this is disgusting. And honestly, this is one of the craziest landlord stories that I've personally seen. People are already feel uncomfortable knowing that their landlords, maintenance workers or leasing office staff, technically, like they do have access to your apartment, especially if you don't have a deadlock. They can just come into your apartment. I have a deadlock, and that's something I'm very grateful for. If I didn't, I would make sure to install one. But usually people think, about the fear that they have about, theft, somebody coming in and stealing. They're supposed to be fixing your refrigerator, but then your jewelry box stealing your shit. But, you know, they think about, like, you do not think about someone coming into your home and treating it like it's their house. Like eating your food, drinking your wine, sitting on your couch, and having sex in your apartment. And this actually reminded me of another story where a maintenance worker was caught on camera sitting on a tenant's couch and drinking their, I think it was like her wine or like her juice or something like that. And what made the situation even worse was how comfortable he looked. Like it didn't even look like this was the first time he had done something like that, either in her apartment or another tenant's. And that's what I honestly think, that if you do rent, investing in an indoor camera is very smart. Especially if you do have like an apartment that needs constant maintenance, or or like you have a very active leasing leasing office, just get a camera. If maintenance or the leasing office ever has access to your partner apartment, having cameras inside your home is a, honestly protection for you. And it's not even just for theft, it's really for accountability, because you don't know what somebody is doing once they enter your home and close the door. And the scary part is that people feel safe because they assume that the workers are being professional, but clearly everybody is not professional. I do want to say that I was thinking like the news crew was able to just drive over to the man's house. If he's taking care of like an apartment, he has to be like physically accessible. So why didn't he just go have sex in his own house? It's either the thrill of him and his wife doing it in a tenant's house, or he was cheating. And now I'm just saying alleged because I don't know this man, but it's either one of those. But could you imagine, you get off work, you just had a stressful day of work. You come in the house, make yourself something, you put your stuff down, make yourself something to eat. And then out of nowhere, you look down, it's a damn condom. I would lose my mind. It's a condom, and then your bed is wet. Now you like, oh, is my partner cheating on me, or like what's going on? What's going on? You don't think that your landlord, your maintenance people was just having sex in your house. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, when I say that would send me over the moon, it would send me over the edge. Um, so like personally, if it was me, I don't know if I would have contacted the news. I don't know. I don't even know if I would have contacted, the police. I probably would have just confronted the landlord, like the maintenance person, with the footage and be like, "Look, I saw you, what you did in my home, and I want free rent. Times is hard. I'm so sorry. I would have asked for free rent. If I had leverage on the gas people, I would have, look, I need some free gas for the rest of my life. Like obviously, you know, I might be joking a little bit, kinda. But I do understand why they contacted the police. I honestly do, because like it's really a safety issue. You never know how somebody is going to react when they realize that you do have footage of them doing this. Um, and this is just something really, really embarrassing and violating inside your home. So I completely understand why they definitely wanted documentation and they wanted to involve the authorities, because at the end of the day, this is their landlord. Their landlord has access to their home, and I don't know if the landlord like owns the apartment, if it's like something that he owns and manages, or if it's through a company where he can be fired and somebody else can go in there. Because if it is his building that he owns, like, how are you going to put a restraining order on someone that you know has to manage it? You're going to have to move out, and in this economy, they ain't got no choice to move out. They probably don't, because I saw the apartments. They look fine, but it just don't look like I got all this uh, extra income coming in. But one thing that I will say after the situation, I personally would not want to stay there. Once my lease was up, I would be looking for apartments that day, and I would probably be setting money to the side, because it's not even like I want to leave at this point. I have to leave. This person, they know where you live. They know, that you expose them publicly, and their faces all over the news and stuff. Honestly, I would probably be changing the locks immediately if possible. This whole story, it really is just another reminder that people need to protect themselves, and just as I'm assuming that everybody with access to your home has good intentions, because this situation is absolutely insane. But just let me know what you guys think in the comments, what you would have done. Have you ever had something like this happen to you? I hope not. But this is Deja. Have a good one.